JD here, Till Limus, and as you can see we're at round 11 Spa here today, which is definitely one of my top tracks on the game, probably my top 2 tracks on the game for sure. And firstly, before I start this video, I really want to say to everyone who subscribed to me, who watches my videos, a massive thank you, because the support I've had in my last 2 videos has probably been the biggest support I've ever had. Mainly because I had quite a tough time last race, which was really crucial part of the championship. Having that game freeze was really not what I needed, and it really could have swung completely in the opposite direction if I finished that race. So I was really debating of actually staying in the league, and because of all the effort I do put in. But I just want to say thank you for the support. It's been absolutely incredible, the best I've ever had, and it's really motivated me to. Obviously, I want to win. I'm going always go for 100% of the win, but I'm really glad that people understand of what I tried to do by making these videos and just being on YouTube is to really just show how competitive you can get into in racing, and when you put the time and practice into something of what you can do. And that's what I really want to show, demonstrate what I can do in the game, and hopefully inspire or motivate other people to take up the same thing as I did. And that's all I want really. Obviously AOR is pretty much my my next target goal, to win a championship in AOR. That's something I've wanted to do for quite a while, and I've come close definitely a couple of times now. And you know, things don't go your way, but I do believe you do make your own luck on quite a lot of occasions. But obviously I'm going to give it absolutely 100%. But as long as I inspire people to take up league racing or just play the F1 games, then that's more than good enough for me. You can't win everything, but I'm going to give it my absolute best of everything that I can do. So that was my first run at Spa, my first qualifying lap. I went in the gravel. We still got 45.0 considering we went into the gravel, and this is my actual fastest lap here, because in another 2 laps between then I actually lost DRS and KERS for both of those laps. So that was really not optimal. And in all honesty, I didn't do that much practice for this race because I've been so busy, mainly with work throughout the week. I just really haven't had time to really grind the game or really practice that much. So this is really a few sessions before the race, and then we're good to go because I feel comfortable around here. But this is a very important race. As you can see, we're in 6th place. We've got Martin, who actually qualified on prime, so he did a really impressive time in 5th place. So this is crucial. We need to beat him, and that is the game plan. Just beat Martin, not really focusing on trying to win the race. Just beat Martin. We need to start taking points off him if we really want to take on. And we've been involved in a collision, and I think that's NLR Evo, who actually spun off a curb. And if you didn't see them on one of my recent videos, that was just a really unlucky situation, because my race pace, as it has been mainly for most of the season, has been so good, and I felt if I got in the lead or got near the front, then I really could have just controlled it. But that was just such an unfortunate incident that happened, and that put me to the back of the field. But I was confident in the pace to bring it through. But now it's going to be so hard to not only win the race but really take points of mine, because he is ahead of us, but he is on the prime tyre. So in ideally to make that work, we need to be a little bit further ahead of Martin. And because the prime tyres, particularly in the last part of the race, is very good. So we've really got to charge. And at this point, I was quite heated. The red mist was pretty much coming out at this point, because I was just angry that happened to me at the start. I just felt like it was just another one of those things. You know, when things are going my way, there's always something that seems to happen. But really, just got to try and control, just focus on the race, 1 lap at a time, and really just pick people off as quick as you can. So we made up a few positions, so we made up 3 positions on this first lap from that first corner incident, and now we've got to get past people as quick as possible. So any opportunity we have, so we're just going to go down the inside of Fox side here, who's a new member of the league, so welcome to him. And now we've got K-Block, who's another new member of the league as well. And this is where, at this point, I thought I had to get past these 2, really just to put pressure on Martin, really just force him into re-controlling the strategy that he decides to do as well, because he's going to have to go longer. As we're going to go through the middle of both cars, and we've got quite a long gear, and my gearbox will definitely set up for straight on speed around here, and we're going to just outbrake Martin into that corner there, and that is what we needed, because Martin you know, he's going to have to react to what I do. If I pit, he's not really going to be able to stay out too much longer. Otherwise, he's going to have a... the undercut we're going to have in him is quite a significant one. So we've got into 5th place again. I believe a few people pitted, but that's quite a good recovery so far on lap 4. And right now we're just trying not to use as much fuel as possible, but we just go into Rich anyway, because we've got Martin right behind us. But we're not really going to fight this too much, because this is the stage where the options are now starting to go off, and now the primes will really take over. And you can see we've gone into optimal fuel, so you can't really go and Rich for that much in this race, which is why it's so crucial as we go down to standard mix and then back to lean mix, because we just want to save as much fuel as possible, because around here it does go so quickly, and it's not exactly that easy to save fuel either. So we're behind Martin now. We're going to try and stay with him, because the primes are definitely coming to their own, but we'll go probably pit this lap, which is what I've done for most seasons in 2013 around here, lap 4, which has normally worked for me. I got my first AOR win around here by doing that strategy, so hopefully try and get a successful race here today. But I don't think at this point the win was really out of the question, because we are quite a way behind the leaders from that first corner incident, which really did cost us quite a lot of time. And you know, as I said before, you can make your own luck, because in qualifying I really just didn't do a good qualifying lap. I really just did not put together a good lap at all, because normally I do a 44.6 or 7 or something, which would have been good enough for second on the grid, and if I qualified there, then I may have not been in that instant at all. So, you know, in that aspect, that's my fault, but sometimes there's nothing else you can do when those kind of incidents happen. So we're just going to stick behind Martin, try and save fuel, and we're going to go into the pits now. And this is crucial. We really need to get a big undercut, and hopefully when he comes out, there'll be cars between me and Martin as well, which is exactly what I need with this championship. I'm not sure what the gap difference really was at this point. I didn't really actually look before the race, because I really just wanted to focus on what I'm doing, and that's probably what I'll be doing to the end of the season, is really not to try and look at that gap too much, just to drive my best. And I feel if I can drive my best and not make many mistakes, and obviously have a bit of luck and things go my way, then I believe I can do it. I've done it in other championships before. There's no reason why I can't do it. I believe I can do it, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. So you can see now we're on to lap 8, and Martin's pitted now, so we've got a decent-ish undercut on him, but unfortunate thing is we don't have any cars between us, and having fresher tyres around here can definitely gain you quite a noticeable amount of lap time per lap, because the lap is so long. I think it just seems to be quite exaggerated when you have fresher tyres. So Martin's got about 3 to 4 lap fresher tyres and us in prime, so he's caught up to us quite quickly, and there's nothing we can do about that, because around here you cannot really pull away from someone if you're like on old tyres or something like that. It's pretty much impossible. So I feel this race mainly most of the time is really just, if you get a good start and you manage to get a good gap from the chasing pack and you pit early, then you're pretty much in a good position to win this race. So you know, I didn't go away in the first corner, but we've still got a good chance, because Martin is behind us, so we've got track position, and that's all we need, because I'm going to fight as hard as possible, as hard as I need to fight to try and keep this position, because it is crucial that we try and take points off him as much as possible towards the end of the season. We've still got a long way to go. As I said, it's being consistent that's key, which we have been very consistent this season, apart from that game freeze, and we've been on the podium every single race for this season. So that is well, no, not much more than I can ask for. So we managed to go past Unleashed throughout that corner. Now Martin, I believe, has actually slipped through as well, so I was kind of hoping he managed to get stuck behind Unleashed, but you know, through Unleashed having the older tyres as well, and me passing him made him a bit vulnerable on the exit, and now Martin's actually got past him for extra grip as well. So now that's us into 4th place, chasing down Leobot, which I believe is on the same freshness of tyres as us, so it's an equal playing field between me and him. So we've got to try and catch him, and the slipstream around here, which you'll be able to see soon, is absolutely ridiculous how much slipstream effect there actually is. You can be almost a second and a half behind someone, and you can see now that we're just having that effect, and we're going to get in this DRS after doing hopefully a good chicane, which we managed to do quite nicely, and then we're going to get into the DRS line. As you can see, yep, we are in his DRS, so the slipstream effect, and you can see we're 1.3 seconds or 2 seconds behind him. We're somehow got that, so the effect of it around here is really really exaggerated, which makes it that much harder to pull away from someone. It's not, even if you're driving a second or half a second quicker than someone with the same tyres, it's pretty much almost impossible to actually pull away from someone unless they make a big mistake around here. So in order to win this race, you definitely need some element of luck with the strategy and just not getting held up and people having battles with other people. That's really what it comes down to, mate, most of the time around here. But you can see we're going purple and we've got Martin right behind us as well now. So we're almost halfway through the race, and you know, the best we can do at the moment is really just try and get on the podium and just keep Martin behind. That was my thoughts at this point. And yeah, you can't really reflect on what's happened to you before. At the beginning of the race, you really just got to take it one lap at a time. And we'll go save fuel now, so going down to lean mix. But you can see dirty air around here is quite a big factor as well. It's not easy to actually fight. As Orbit Pride has actually had a lag spike, I think, quite a big one. So that he was I think he was actually fighting with Brozak in the lead, and he's gone way down the field. So I don't know how big his lag spikes are. There seems to be a good few seconds. Mine seems to be only about half a second or something, which is pretty lucky. But he, unfortunately for him, and that's put us into a podium position. So this is for second place ahead of us as well. So this is good points as Martin's going to go for a move down our inside. So we're going to leave him a little bit of room on the entry. But obviously we're not going to give up that position easily. And we've got to get past Leobot as quick as we can here. And we're coming on to lap 12. And Mars doing a little bit of these zigzag things, which he likes to do quite a lot, but most of the time he doesn't actually go for it. So I really just focus on my braking point, just getting a good exit, which we managed to do coming out of here. And use the slipstream effect. You'll be able to see here that we're quite far away behind him at the moment. But we'll hopefully should be able to get in a good position to overtake. And you can see Leopold has definitely saved some of his curves as well. He's gone a little bit defensive, and it looks like it's going to be 3 abreast again, as it was on the second lap of the race. So we're going to leave room on the inside. A little bit of contact between them, and we've a little bit been shoved off there on the curb, which I wasn't too happy with. And it looks like Martin's actually gone around the outside of Leobot as well. So yeah, I wasn't too happy about that at that point, because I felt I had entitled to a bit of room. But I shook it off pretty quickly and just focused on the race again. Now we've got Carpatimbi and Martin, who's on the fresher tyres as well. So we have to get past Leobot as quick as possible, because Martin should put away reasonably quickly, because he's had a good few lap fresher tyres on us, which, as I said before, is definitely quite a big thing around here. So we've got to get past Leobot as quick as we can. Trying to get the back of Martin, try and challenge him again, because we cannot afford to really give him a big lead, because I believe he'll be going on option tyres on the last stint, and they are very, very quick around here, so in the race particularly. So you know, we can't afford that. We can't afford for him to have a 2-second or something gap, because that, you know, that will be almost race over. So you can see we're going to go down the inside a little bit here. As soon as the opportunity comes about, we're going to go down the inside and leave room for him on the entry of the last corner. Try and get a better exit at him, get on the DRS line, and we're going to try and stay in the DRS of Martin. So we're going to go down the inside here, just let him run him out wide a little bit, just use the racing line. And now Leobot's behind us, but we're hoping to get in the DRS of Martin, but it looks like we're a little bit too far out, so that probably wasn't the best decision in the end, but I felt I would have been close enough. But just with that grip and traction that Martin has with his tyres, you know, look like you can see he's gone already. But we are due to pit this up, and Leobot's going to be challenged just now, so we've got to defend as well. So that's just going to make us lose even more time, and this is just not what we need at the moment at all. This is the last thing we need at the moment. We do not want to be battling. We would want to be ahead of Martin in clean air, but you can see end of lap 13 now. We're going to go into the pits, run a little bit deep there, making a little bit of contact with the wall as we come into the pits. Hopefully not get jumped as well, because that would just be not a great thing. And we're going to go on primes for the last 8 laps of this race, and this is my normal strategy, what I would normally do. So hopefully it'll be a good clean stop. Looks like Brozak is in the lead, and with quite a reasonable gap with clear air. Not much battling he's done this race. He managed to get a good getaway at the start, and with Orbit Pride actually lagging as well. And the lag spike that's given him quite a comfortable gap to play with. You can see we're coming out now in Rich. We're really going to make this undercut, because you can see we lost quite a bit of time to Martin in that stint, or in that as we were getting past Leobot, and you can see we're in -1 lap of fuel now as well. So this is just not what we need, and it's going to be very, very difficult at this point to really stay ahead of mine, because the option tyres at the end as well, they're going to be a lot quicker. And you can see we're 3 seconds behind Brozo, so considering what we had at the start of the race, that is not as big as I thought it was going to be. So if we could have had a good start, I was very confident I could have been right up there in the race, but as I said, you really just got to take it how it is. And you can see lap 18 now, Martin pitted last lap, and we only just came out ahead of him. You can see he's on the option tyres, and this should be quite a comfortable pass for him. We should not be able to really do anything about this, because the straight is so long around here with DRS and slipstream effect. It's almost impossible to keep someone behind, and with him being on those tyres, there's not much we could do. So we've got to save our fuel, save our curves for the top of the straight. Really just try and stay alongside him as much as we can, then really just try and outbrake him into this corner. But you can see he's clearly already ahead between there on those option tyres, and you can see already the grip he has through the corners. There's not really anything we can do. We could still maybe come back at the end of the race because options do start to go off, but you can see one a little bit deep there and through the dirty air as well. At this point you really just got to keep putting the laps in. I was still trying as hard as I can. You can see I'm going in rich. I'm really just trying to stay with him. I'm taking this corner with maximum commitment, so we're not giving up, and we never do give up in races. But we're in -1 lap of fuel as well, with the fuel being quite hard to recover. We've got to start thinking really about just securing that podium, because if we run out of fuel, we could even lose another position, and that's not what we want. And you can see I'm trying as hard as I can to stay with him, but you can see just on those tyres, you can't do anything with fresher tyres as well, and the different compounds. There's not much we can do. So it's lap 22. Coming around the last corner now, we've managed to come in 3rd place, which is a good result considering the recovery drive we had. That did not look like something that could happen at the start of the race. So that is a very good recovery drive, which I'm happy with. Martin looks like he had in-game penalties, but I can confirm they have been removed now. So we did come 3rd, he came 2nd. And so that means the gap in the championship, which will probably be coming up now, there's about 38 points or something, I believe. So we've got a few races to go, a fair amount of races to go, with races being added on as well, because Monza in Canada were not included. So it's not over yet. I'm still going to give my absolute best, 100%. And as I said before, thank you so much for your support recently on my videos. It's been really, really motivating to me, and hopefully I can bring something back to you by providing these races and show you what I can do. So as always, thank you so much, and catch you next time. Cheers.